All right, let's set the scene. Imagine this, a high-stakes gambling table, the kind of place where desperation just hangs in the air. But see, this story isn't really about the money. It's about luck, a kind of luck that's so powerful, so unnatural, it's downright scary. And it all kicks off with one guy who has this insane, unshakable confidence. He looks his opponent dead in the eye and says, "No one can beat me today. You know why? Because my name is Lucky." Just wow. Can you imagine hearing that from the person who's about to take everything from you? That one line, it's everything. It's the beginning of a story about a so-called blessing that's really, really a curse. So picture this. We're in some super fancy casino. You can practically feel the tension in the air. Everyone's just staring at these two guys at the table. Why? Because there's a bet so huge, nobody's even breathing. And you just know, this isn't just another game. This is it, a major turning point. Someone's life is about to get completely wrecked. And the number on the table? 20 lock. I mean, that's enough to absolutely ruin someone. For one of these guys, this is it. Game over, the end of the line. But for the other guy, it's like, it's just another day at the office. The stakes are just unbelievably high. And this is where it gets interesting. Look at the two of them. On one side, you've got Gaurav, and you can just see the panic in his eyes. I mean, he's looking at his whole life going down the drain. But then you look across the table at Lucky, and there's nothing. Just this chilling, absolute confidence. The guy's not even breaking a sweat. And then, bam, it's over. Just like that. Gaurav cracks. He can't take it anymore, so he folds. And get this, he had a great hand, 3 kings. But it didn't even matter. Lucky, he doesn't even look at his own cards. He just flips them over, winner. It's like he knew all along. Of course he knew. So the game's over, and Gaurav is just completely shattered. He goes up to Lucky, and at first he's yelling, "You cheated!" But that just melts away into pure, raw desperation. He's lost it all. He's convinced this guy, Lucky, has some kind of secret, and he's begging him, pleading with him to share it. Okay, and this is where things get really weird. Lucky just kind of scoffs at the whole idea of hard work. He says something like, "Luck isn't made from hard work. There are powers in this world that are way beyond what we can understand." So, you see, he's not talking about some poker strategy or a hidden skill. No. He's hinting at something much darker, something old. So Lucky tells him this power, it only requires one thing. It's not about being smart, it's not about being rich, it's about having courage. And Gaurav, who's got nothing left to lose, he just blurts out that his whole life has been a lie anyway, and that he's got all the courage in the world. He'll do whatever it takes. He literally says, "Courage runs in my veins." And with that one sentence, he's done for. He has no clue what he's just signed up for. But right then, in his desperate mind, there is no price too high for that kind of luck. So Lucky agrees, but he gives him this very serious warning. He says, look, this power, it comes with a heavy price. And here's the kicker. If you show even a little bit of fear while you're doing what needs to be done, you could die. The more fearless you are, the more powerful the luck. So let's be clear about what this secret is. It's not a skill you can learn from a book. It's a power that you have to seize, and it promises you can't lose at anything. But yeah, power like that isn't just handed over. You have to take it. And the way you take it involves a really, really messed up ritual. And where does this all go down? Well, the instructions couldn't be creepier. A graveyard way outside the city, at the stroke of midnight. And the number one rule? You gotta go alone. So there's Gaurav, showing up at this spooky, empty graveyard at midnight. You can bet he's already terrified. And Lucky's just waiting for him. He doesn't say much, just hands Gaurav the tools he's gonna need. A hammer and a single, long nail. The instructions he gives him are so simple, so step by step, and just absolutely monstrous. Step 1, go into the graveyard. Step 2, find a grave that says Lucky on the headstone. Step 3, dig it up. And then, the final step, you hammer that nail right into the forehead of the corpse. You do that, and all the luck in the world is yours. But wait, there's one more thing. Before Lucky leaves him to it, he hands Gaurav this sealed letter. He says it explains everything else, all the final secrets. But he gives him a strict warning. Do not open this, not yet. Wait for the right time. And when Gaurav asks how he'll know when the right time is, Lucky just says, "Oh, you'll know." Okay, so let's fast forward to the next morning. Gaurav wakes up and he's in his own bed. His head is killing him. He feels totally out of it, but he's home. He kind of remembers the graveyard, but it all feels fuzzy, like a dream. And that's what he decided it was. It had to be. Just a really, really bad nightmare brought on by all the stress. And for just a second, you kind of want to believe it too, right? Maybe it was all in his head. Was it? Just some crazy hallucination from a guy at his breaking point? Nope. The illusion just shatters. A crazy, sharp pain explodes in the back of his head. He reaches up to feel what's going on, and his fingers brush against something cold, hard, metallic. It's the nail. And it's not in some corpse's head, it's in his. Then this voice starts echoing inside his own head, and it lays out the awful truth. He is the new Lucky. There's this thing, this entity latched onto him now. And sure, it'll give him all the luck he could ever want. But the price? It feeds on his blood. It's slowly killing him. The only way to survive? He has to find a new host, someone just as desperate as he was. He's freaking out, totally panicking, and then he remembers. The letter, the last piece of this twisted puzzle. With his hands shaking like crazy, he digs it out of his pocket. This has to be the right time Lucky was talking about. He tears it open. And the very first line, it's his worst nightmare come true. It says, "Thank you, Gaurav, for freeing me from the curse." So it was never a gift, it was a trap. A burden that just gets passed from one victim to the next. And the note ends with this awful piece of advice. And all the best. Find your next lucky friend before you die. The cycle has to continue. He's no longer the victim. Now he's the hunter. And he has to find his prey or he's dead. Which brings us right back to where we started. We're at a casino. There's a guy at a table just radiating this impossible confidence, and he's holding another man's entire life in his hands. But this time, it's Gaurav, and he's the one saying the words, scanning the room, looking for that next person who's desperate enough to ask for his secret. And it leaves